What's up YouTube, it's your boy Nash here. Welcome back to the channel. Now before we get started with today's video, the road to 200 subs has now come to a close, and we are now 238 subs away from hitting 500 subs. And excuse me, who knows, maybe we might hit 500 subs by the end of the year. Excuse me, only time will tell. But as I've said in previous videos, if this channel does get to 500 subs, I will open up this Korean LOB booster box in its entirety on the channel that I got from my partners over at Collector Store. So be sure to check them out. Link and address will be in the description below. By checking them out, not only does it support them, it also supports the channel, and I would greatly appreciate it. On the hopes to potentially pull a Blue Eyes White Dragon, a Dark Magician, a Red Eyes Black Dragon, a piece of Exodia, Monster Reborn, Pot of Greed. The possibilities are out there. However, if this channel gets to 1,000 subs, I will open up this first edition Toon Chaos box in its entirety on the channel that I also got from my partners over at Collector Store, on the hopes to potentially pull a collector's rare out of the set. But with that being said, if you guys want to see those boxes get opened, maybe you guys want more episodes of WWE's Biggest Issue. Maybe you guys want more episodes of Yu-Gi-Oh's Biggest Issue. Deck profiles, card discussions, WWE topic videos, or maybe, just maybe, you guys want some premium live event predictions and results. Well, if you guys want all of that and more, my channel is the place to be. So if you guys are new to the channel, and I know that a lot of you guys are, because more than 85% of you guys are watching the content, but you guys are not even subscribed. And to top it all off, we got to get more women to watch the content as well. So if you guys are watching the content, you like the content, and you want more of the content, but you guys have not subscribed as of yet, then make sure you guys do indeed subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, smash that thumbs up button on this video, and as always, make sure you guys are following me on all of my social media. All of my ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And I want you guys to post in the comments below. Excuse me. Answering the question of the day, which is this. What decks do you guys believe will make their way into the September 2024 format post-September 2024 ban list? Let me know down in the comments below. And for today's video, we actually have something a bit different today, because I'm going to be talking about the 5 decks that could make their way into the September 2024 format post ban list. And I want to show you guys what the ban list looks like, because I did a video of it last week right after Bash in Berlin, and it's crazy because when you look at the ban list and what decks got completely hit, it is absolutely incredible to see. We saw Fiendsmith's Lacrima getting banned, Appaloosa getting banned, Hot Red Dragon Archfiend King Calamity, which I'm still tilted by. And then of course Beatrice, Lady of the Eternal, which, funny enough, Beatrice actually ended up getting banned at one point back in the day, which I'm kind of surprised that that it got banned again. And then the cards that got limited to 1, we've got Ava, Snake Eye Ash, Snake Eye Poplar, number 40 Gimmick Puppet of Strings, Chaos number 40 Gimmick Puppet of Dark Strings, Brand Diffusion, Opening of the Spirit Gate, Pot of Prosperity, Sangan Summoning, That Grass Looks Greener, and Skill Drain. The cards that got semi-limited, meaning you can actually use 2, all 4 Dragon Rulers, Blaster, Redox, Tempest, and Tidal. Excuse me. Lunalight Tiger, Thunder Dragon Colossus, and Ib the World Child's Justiciar. And then the cards that were taken off the list completely, meaning that you can actually use 3 copies: Armageddon Knight, Red Rose Dragon, Magic Spectre Unicorn Kirin, Performance Plus Fire, Ancient Fairy Dragon, Denlong, First of the Yangzing, and Time Seal. Now, to be fair, a lot of these cards definitely deserved to get banned. Lacrima 100% deserved to get banned. Appaloosa deserved it. And Beatrice. King Calamity's okay. I mean, it is a way. It is a way to stop pretty much everything to like everything once it gets summoned to the board. But it is what it is. So obviously, yes, Yubel is still up there in the format. Snake Guy is still in it. Fiendsmith, there is a bit of an argument saying that you can actually still play Fiendsmith without Lacrima, but I really don't see that happening at all. But there are quite a few decks in the game that can still weasel their way in and make their way into the format. And these 5 decks that I have here on my list are decks that we could definitely see coming up. So let's get started with number 5. It is obviously Dragon Link OTK. Now, what I find so unique about Dragon Link is that this actually won a UDS back in 2019, which at that time, I think Shumping took that one. Shumping Zhu, I think is his name. Shoutouts to him. He played Dragon Link when the deck was first introduced. And what's interesting is that even by today's standards, you can actually still play Dragon Link. I mean, with the fact that Red Rose Dragon is now back in the format, which you can actually use 3 copies of Red Rose Dragon. So obviously with Red Rose now back into the format, there is a bit of an argument that Dragon Link could still play. But I think the only way that the deck can still play is if they implemented new cards, such as Underworld Goddess. If they added some of the new like Dragon Synchros that have made their way into the format. Maybe even also implement some of the Stardust cards as well, which is possible. But honestly, it's not that bad of an idea. But we'll have to wait and see. But coming in at number 4 is obviously Danger Thunder Dragon. Now that I believe both Titan and Colossus are now legal, now that both I believe both Titan and Colossus are now legal, one could argue that we could end up seeing the deck make its way back. The only problem is that both Jackalope and Tsuchinoko are still limited to 1. Is it possible that the deck can still play? Absolutely, 100% the deck can still play. But I think the only way the deck can be dangerously consistent as it was before is if both Jackalope and Tsuchinoko went to at least 2. If it went to at least 2, I could totally see Danger Thunder making its way back. And what's even more crazy is that um if my memory serves correct, the deck even also used up the white dragon and the black dragon cards, as well as cards like Striker Dragon, as well as cards like I think number 95, as well as True King, if my memory serves correct. So obviously with those two cards still banned, obviously yes, Danger Thunder still doesn't have as much consistency as it originally did, but I can see Danger Thunder creating a board where it's what, like, it would be like what, Triple Titan, Colossus, and I don't know, maybe Underworld Goddess, perhaps. I could totally see that type of end board turn 1. Like, if you're able to make that type of board turn 1, or at least turn 2, then you would probably be in a very good position to OTK the living shit out of your opponent. But speaking of OTKs, coming in at number 3 is none other than Grass FTK. Obviously, yes, that Grass Looks Greener is at 1, and I feel like Konami made a big mistake with this one. And the reason being is because Grass has a it's got a very interesting effect. I will say it has quite the interesting effect. And if you're curious about the card and what it does, I will read off its effect to you guys. So give me a second here. Let's see. Here we are. That Grass Looks Greener. If you have more cards in your deck than your opponent does, send cards from the top of your deck to the grave so you have the same number of cards in the deck as your opponent. If you somehow open with Grass, if your opening hand features Grass, you're gonna be in a very, very dangerous position, to OTK to completely FTK the living shit out of your opponent. Because imagine Grass in imagine Grass in a Shizu tier. If you guys remember that deck, imagine Grass in a Shizu tier. Especially when all the cards were legal at like 3 copies, 2 copies. I am telling you, Grass is a big mistake. And if Konami if Konami makes the stupid decision to bring it all the way up to 3 copies, Grass is going to completely dominate the meta once again, and it ain't going to be pretty. Funny enough, I think Snake Eye has the potential to completely abuse Grass to the extent where you're going to plus 20 over your opponent, where your end board is triple Flamberg Dragon plus Underworld Goddess and Baron, or not Baron. Baron's banned in the TCG. So the end board would be triple Flamberg, Underworld Goddess plus Shay Ying or Shi Xiao, one or the other, and that right there is a very powerful end board, especially with the fact that you're gonna ending the board, ending your turn with at least 4 cards in hand, 3 of them being hand traps, one being Ash, one being called by, and the other potentially being either a Nibiru or a Dimension Shifter, which will prevent your opponent from doing anything whatsoever. So Grass is going to be a very tricky deck to go up against, especially if your opponent opens up with it. You're pretty much fucked. But coming in at number 2 is probably the most obvious, and is full powered Pepe. Pepe was a very powerful deck back in the day, and I'll show you guys what I mean by that. And I'll show you what I mean by that, because there were so many different decks, so many different variations of Pepe, and funny enough, there were even this deck is just the deck was just absolutely nasty. I'm actually on the YGO Pro deck website, and this is actually a bit of a crazy one, because this was one of the most broken decks in the format. And the funniest part is that you could spend like $60, like 60 to like $65 on this deck, and you have yourself a broken deck. I mean, think of the cards. This was the full deck list of a full power Pepe. This was one of the main like iterations, if you will. So the deck had two Veiler, 2 Maxi, 3 damage juggler, 1 hat trigger, 1 trick clown, 2 plush fire, 3 monkey board, 3 skull combat joker, 2 guitartle, 1 lizard draw, 3 pen sorcerer, 3 luster pendulum, 2 vector pendulum, a master pendulum, and a performage mirror conductor. Those are all the monsters. The spells you had triple you had 3 Draco face off, and an instant fusion, 2 twin twister, 3 wavering eyes, and the traps. There was only one in the main deck, which was obviously Treacherous Trap Hole. The extra deck consisted of Draco powered the mighty, Dinosaur powered the mighty Draco Slayer, Elder Entity Norden, a 2 Ignister Prominence, an Abyss Dweller, a Castel, a Cyber Dragon Nova, a Cyber Dragon Infinity, a Daigusto Emerald, a Master Paladin, the Ascending Draco Slayer, a number 106 Giant Hand, a Trapeze Magician, Talonite Ptolemaeus, Traptrix Roplesia, and Evil Swarm Nightmare. And then the extra, or rather the side deck was just absolutely cracked. Absolutely cracked. 2 Mask of Restrict, 1 Raigeki, 3 Solemn Strike, 1 Typhoon, a Fog King, 2 Ghost Ogre, a 3rd Maxi, a Side Blocker, a Perform Pal Naga, and 2 Kirin. That right there is a very powerful board, a very powerful deck. So with a deck like this, your end board is going to be Dweller, Infinity, Ignister Prominence, Giant Hand, plus either Castel or Trapeze Magician with Monkey Board and Skull Acrobat Joker as like your pen scales, if you will, which is pretty fucking nasty. Or what you could also do is you could do Monkey Board, Lizard Draw, get your +1 out, and get your free get your draw off of the lizard draw, and if it ends up being Skull Crobat Joker, you can place Joker into the other pen zone, and you have yourself a very powerful board right there. And that was just back in 2016, 2017, where Blue Eyes at the time was a pretty good deck, but not for long. And eventually people realized, excuse me. Eventually people realized that Pepe was just gonna dominate the meta, and it did for the latter part of almost 2 years, until we got into Link summoning, in which case Pepe just died instantly. So Pepe, I can totally see it happening, but it's kind of hard to say. But coming in at number 1, which is the most obvious, Dragon Ruler. The reason why I brought up Dragon Ruler is because excuse me, is because when you look at the Dragon Rulers, when you look at them, you think that it's gonna be. You think that the Dragon Rulers aren't as great as people seem. Funny enough, Dragon Rulers completely dominated for almost 2 years when the deck was first introduced. We fast forward to now, Kashtira is still playable, but there are so many decks that can completely abuse the living shit out of the Dragon Rulers, and one of those decks is obviously Kashtira, mainly because of the fact that each of the Dragon Rulers can actually work with Kashtira. So when you think of Unicorn, you think of obviously Tempest. When you look at Fenrir, you think of Redox. When you look at Tidal, you think of Tearlament Kashtira, and then of course when you look at Blaster, you look at Riseheart, and of course Ash Blossom, and also the hand traps. Ash Blossom, Ghost Spell, Ghost Sister, and Joel Lockbird can all coexist with the Dragon Rule. So there is so this deck that I found on the Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro Deck website, you would spend close to $400 on this deck, and you have a powerful build. Literally, one of all four Dragon Rulers, 3 Unicorn, 3 Fenrir, 3 Tearlament Kashtira, 2 Scareclaw Kashtira, 3 Riseheart, 3 Ash, 3 Bell, 3 Sister, 3 Drone Lockbird, a Kashtira Birth, 2 Pressure Planet Rest Sloth, Raid Soth, 3 Kashtira Theosis, a Call By, a Super Poly, and 3 Imperm. And then the extra deck, you have Starving Venom, Odd Eyes Vortex, Garura Wings of Resonance, Mud Dragon of the Swamp, Zeus, Odd Eyes Absolute Dragon, Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon, Blaze Supreme Ruler of All Dragons, Mermaid Abyss Gyos, number 11 Big Eye, Volo Fernagus, the Darkest Dragon Doom Rider, Cashier Shangri Era, Underworld Goddess, SP Little Knight, and Appaloosa. And this was from like 2 months ago, which is hilarious. The side deck, you have the Ascendant of Thunder, 3 of them, one Harpy's Feather Duster, 2 Lightning Storm, 3 Sacred Sword of 7 stars, a Terraforming, 2 Talents, and 3 Droplet. Now imagine Dragon Ruler in a deck like say in a deck like say I don't know, I guess like just as like a random example, Red Eyes Harpy or something like that. Dragon Ruler nowadays, even as a pure build, it still has the potential to completely dominate the meta. And also, think about this. With the new cards that we have now, cards like Absolute Dragon, Red Eyes Flare, Blaze, Big Eye, with cards like with cards like those, and with link monsters such as Underworld Goddess, SP Little Knight, and all that, Dragon Ruler has the potential to just completely dominate the meta as it did over a decade ago. And it's crazy because the Dragon Rulers have been banned for well close to 10 years until within the last year or so, where all the Dragon Rulers came off the list, and now they're at 2. So it's possible that we could see Dragon Rulers come back, just like we could see these 5 other decks make their way into the meta. But at this point, it's kind of hard to say, but we will have to wait and find out once the upcoming YCS comes in, which I believe the next YCS should be in a couple weeks, actually, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. YCS schedule, here we are. I believe the next YCS... Let's see. I believe the next YCS is actually going to be the Team YCS in Santiago, Chile, right around the end of this month. So that's actually the next one. And I believe, other than that, I think there's a... What is it? Nationals, I think, is coming up as well. It's either national or regional. No. Let's try regional. Let's see. Anything for regionals? Nope. Let's see. World qualifiers. Nope. I think the next one is the World Championship. Yeah. Yeah, okay. I thought so. Okay. So the next event is actually Worlds, funny enough, and it's actually this weekend. It's this weekend, you guys. So it's gonna be interesting to see what decks we'll see in the format once we do get closer to Worlds, which is obviously gonna be this weekend. Honestly, I'm hoping one of these 5 decks will make their way into Worlds, because I'm curious of what style the decks are going to be. I'm very curious about it, and I'll try and keep up with the decks on social media, but we will have to wait and see for this weekend. But let me know down in the comments below your thoughts on this list and what decks you believe should have been on this list. But with that being said, that will do it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel and you guys want more top 5/top 10 videos in the future, then make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and follow me on all of my social media. All of my ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be down in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.